Did you know that in ancient China, revenge wasn't just personal? It was a moral duty? These 10 historical dramas flip the script on what you thought you knew about vengeance. Get ready to see how these characters turn from victims to victors, all while navigating some of the most turbulent times in Chinese history. In this video, we're going to take you on a journey through 10 amazing Chinese historical dramas that'll change the way you think about revenge. These aren't your typical revenge stories. They're packed with twists, turns, and characters you can't help but root for. But here's the best part. You're not just going to be entertained, you're going to learn something too. We'll dive into the historical contexts and cultural insights that make these dramas so special. So get ready to expand your mind and your watch list with these must-see revenge tales from China's rich history. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these epic stories of justice and redemption. Number 10. The Untamed. When fantasy meets revenge. Ready to take your drama experience to the next level? Our next pick isn't just a historical revenge tale. It's a mind-bending fantasy that'll challenge everything you think you know about good and evil. Trust me, once you start watching this one, you won't be able to stop until you've unraveled every last secret. Enter The Untamed, a drama that's got everyone talking. It's based on the novel Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. And trust me, it lives up to the hype. This show takes revenge to a whole new level by mixing it with some serious fantasy elements. At the heart of the story are Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji. These two aren't your average revenge seekers. Their relationship is so complex, you'll be on the edge of your seat trying to figure out if they're friends, enemies, or something more. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, but in the best way possible. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Wei Wuxian doesn't just want revenge, he literally comes back from the dead to get it. That's right, death is just a minor inconvenience for this guy. He uses a self-sacrificing ritual to return to the land of the living and face his past. Talk about dedication. But it's not all doom and gloom. The Untamed is packed with adventure, as Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji uncover dark secrets and battle some seriously creepy threats. It's like they took all the best parts of a revenge story and mixed them with magic and mystery. Number 9. Nirvana in Fire, the ultimate long game. Speaking of epic revenge stories, our next pick takes patience to a whole new level. Imagine surviving a massacre that killed your entire family, then spending over a decade planning your comeback. That's exactly what happens in Nirvana in Fire, and trust me, it's a game changer. This drama follows Lin Shu, the only survivor of a brutal massacre that wiped out his family and 70,000 soldiers. Talk about a rough start, right? But Lin Shu isn't one to give up easily. He undergoes a treatment that completely changes his appearance and even takes away his martial arts skills. It's like he's starting from scratch. But here's where it gets really interesting. Lin Shu transforms into Mei Changsu and returns to the capital 12 years later with a plan so detailed, it'll make your head spin. He's not just out for personal revenge, he's playing the long game by helping Prince Jing, who's not exactly the emperor's favorite, to grab the throne. Nirvana in Fire isn't just about getting even, it's a masterclass in strategy and patience. Mei Changsu doesn't just charge in swinging, he methodically takes down corrupt officials one by one. It's like watching a chess master at work, but with way higher stakes. This series is based on the novel Lang Ya Bang by Hai Yan, and it's got everything you could want in a revenge drama. Complex characters? Check. Intricate plot? Double check. It's no wonder this show has made such a huge impact on the genre. Number 8. The Legend of Hao Lan, From Slave to Queen. If you thought Nirvana in Fire was intense, Wait until you hear about the Legend of Hao Lan. Picture this: the chaotic Warring States period, a time when loyalty could change faster than the weather. Now throw in a woman who starts as a slave and ends up as one of the most influential figures in China. Intrigued? You should be, because Li Haolan's story is about to redefine what you think is possible in a historical revenge drama. Meet Li Haolan, the daughter of the public censor of Zhao, who finds herself sold into slavery. Talk about a fall from grace. But Hao Lan isn't one to accept defeat. Her journey from slave to queen is a roller coaster of resilience, intelligence, and sheer determination. The Warring States period isn't just a fancy backdrop. It's like adding gasoline to the fire of Hao Lan's revenge plot. With political alliances shifting like sand, Hao Lan has to navigate a world where trust is a luxury she can't afford. It's not just about getting even. It's about surviving in a cutthroat world where one wrong move could mean game over. But here's where it gets really interesting. Hao Lan doesn't just seek revenge. She rewrites the rules of the game. In a time when women were often seen as pawns, she becomes a player. Her rise to power isn't just a personal victory. It's a middle finger to the patriarchal society that tried to keep her down. You know how we love seeing underdogs triumph? Well, Hao Lan's story takes that to a whole new level. She doesn't just overcome adversity, she crushes it and uses it as a stepping stone to greatness. It's the kind of story that makes you want to stand up and cheer, or maybe rethink your own goals. Number 7. Story of Yanxi Palace. Revenge served cold in the Forbidden City. From slave to queen is impressive, but have you ever thought about going from seamstress to royal schemer? In Story of Yanxi Palace, Wei Yingluo proves that in the Game of Thrones, sometimes the deadliest weapon is a sewing needle. How far would you go to avenge a loved one in a place where every smile hides a dagger? Set in the 18th century during Emperor Qianlong's reign, Story of Yanxi Palace follows Wei Yingluo as she enters the Forbidden City as an embroiderer. But she's not there to stitch pretty patterns. She's on a mission to uncover her sister's murderer. Talk about a dangerous job interview. Wei Yingluo's got her sights set on Imperial Guard Fuka Fuheng as the prime suspect. Her plan? Become a maid for his sister, Empress Fuka Rongyin. It's like walking into the lion's den with a piece of steak around your neck. This show doesn't just give us palace drama. It's a masterclass in power struggles and conspiracies. The harem isn't just a place for the emperor's wives. It's a battlefield where alliances shift faster than you can say backstab. And Wei Yingluo has to navigate it all while trying to get justice for her sister. Story of Yanxi Palace isn't just about revenge. It's about the moral tug-of-war between justice and vengeance. Wei Yingluo's gotta ask herself, how far is too far when you're seeking payback in a place where one wrong move could mean game over? Number 6. The Rise of Phoenixes. A woman's revenge in disguise. While Wei Yingluo had to navigate the treacherous waters of the imperial court, our next hero faces an even bigger challenge. What if the only way to get justice was to become the very thing you're fighting against? In The Rise of Phoenixes, revenge takes on a whole new meaning. Meet Feng Jiwei, the unfavored daughter of the Chu family who's about to turn the concept of revenge upside down. She's not just seeking justice. She's doing it while pretending to be a man. Talk about commitment to the cause. But Jiwei's not just playing dress-up for fun. Her disguise lets her attend the prestigious Qingming Academy, where she becomes the supreme scholar to the emperor. Pretty impressive for someone who's supposed to be the unfavored daughter, right? Now, you might think that being surrounded by political turmoil and power struggles would make Jiwei's quest for revenge easier. But it actually makes things way more complicated. She's got to navigate the fight for the throne among the princes while trying to keep her own identity under wraps. And just when you think things can't get any more intense, enter the 6th prince, Ning Yi. Suddenly, Jiwei's got to deal with unexpected feelings while still pursuing her vendetta. It's like trying to solve a puzzle while riding a roller coaster. Tricky, to say the least. The Rise of Phoenixes isn't just about getting even, it's a deep dive into what it means to sacrifice everything for justice. Ji Wei's journey makes us question the traditional idea of revenge. Is it about brute force, or is it more about outsmarting your enemies? Number 5. Empresses in the Palace. Revenge in the Qing Dynasty Harem. Speaking of outsmarting enemies, what if your greatest threat came from within your own home? Welcome to the Qing Dynasty Harem, where every concubine is both a potential ally and a deadly rival. Can you imagine seeking revenge in a place where trust is a luxury no one can afford? Enter Empresses in the Palace, a drama that takes us deep into the heart of the Qing Dynasty Harem. Here, we meet Zhen Huan, a character who transforms from an innocent newcomer into a powerful force to be reckoned with. But this isn't your typical rags to riches story. It's a masterclass in survival and strategy. In the harem, every smile hides a secret, and every gift could be a trap. Zhen Huan quickly learns that to survive, she needs to be more than just beautiful. She needs to be brilliant. The show doesn't pull any punches when it comes to showing the psychological toll of living in constant fear and suspicion. It's like playing chess, but the pieces are real people, and losing means more than just saying checkmate. But here's what makes Empresses in the Palace truly stand out: its historical accuracy. The series gives us a front-row seat to the complex politics and social structures of the Qing Dynasty harem. We're not just watching drama unfold. We're getting a history lesson wrapped in a thrilling package. Zhen Huan's journey isn't just about personal revenge. It's a reflection of the broader power dynamics in historical China. In a world where women were often seen as powerless, Zhen Huan and her fellow concubines find ways to assert their influence and agency. It's a fascinating look at how women navigated a system designed to keep them under control. Number 4. Scarlet Heart. Time travel revenge in the Qing Dynasty. While Zhen Huan fought her battles in the past, our next heroine brings a whole new perspective, literally. What happens when a 21st century woman finds herself thrust into the dangerous world of Qing Dynasty politics? Get ready for a time travel twist that turns the revenge plot on its head. Scarlet Heart takes us on a wild ride with Zhang Xiao, a modern girl who gets transported back to the Qing Dynasty after a car accident. Talk about a rough day, right? She wakes up as Mertai Ruoxi, a 16-year-old aristocratic girl, and suddenly has to navigate the treacherous waters of imperial court life. Now, you might think having modern knowledge would be a huge advantage, but it actually makes things way more complicated for Ruoxi. She gets caught up in all sorts of palace drama and succession battles, even though she tries to stay out of it at first. It's like being the new kid at school, but instead of cliques, you're dealing with princes who might kill you if you look at them wrong. But here's where it gets really juicy. Ruoxi starts developing feelings for multiple princes. I mean, who wouldn't, right? But in this world, falling for the wrong guy could literally change the course of history. It's not just about her personal revenge anymore. Every choice she makes could have massive consequences. Scarlet Heart isn't just your typical historical drama. It mixes old-school Qing Dynasty vibes with Ruoxi's modern way of thinking, creating this super interesting clash of values. One minute she's trying to fit in with traditional customs, the next she's dropping knowledge that makes everyone's heads spin. Number 3. Secret of Three Kingdoms. Revenge amidst historical chaos. While Ruoxi navigated court life as an outsider, imagine being born into a world where your every move could change the fate of a dynasty. What if solving a murder mystery meant risking everything you love? Secret of Three Kingdoms drops us into the chaos of an empire on the brink, where revenge isn't just personal, it's political. Set during the turbulent Three Kingdoms era, this drama takes us on a wild ride through one of the most famous periods in Chinese history. The Han Dynasty is falling apart, and everyone's scrambling for power. But here's the kicker. There's a secret that could change everything, tied to an unsolved murder from years ago. The show follows characters who are out for revenge, but their personal quests get tangled up with huge historical events. It's like trying to settle a score while the whole world is going crazy around you. And get this, the series features real historical figures from the Three Kingdoms period. These aren't just made-up characters. They're based on people who actually lived and shaped China's history. But don't worry if you're not a history buff. Secret of Three Kingdoms knows how to keep things exciting. They take some creative liberties with the facts to make sure the story keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's like they found the perfect balance between based on a true story and holy cow, did that really happen? Number 2. Lost Love in Times. Magical revenge in a historical setting. If you thought balancing history and fiction was tricky, wait until you see what happens when you throw magic into the mix. Lost Love in Times takes us to a realm where sorcery and royal intrigue go hand in hand. What would you do if your quest for revenge could literally change the fabric of time and space? Enter Feng Tingchen, a sorceress who's part of a secret organization protecting the royal family. But here's the twist. Her magic isn't exactly welcome at court. It's like having a superpower that everyone's afraid of. And to make things even more complicated, she falls for Yuan Ling, described as an untamed wolf, who's got a heart of gold underneath that tough exterior. Now, you might think having magical powers would make revenge easy, right? Well, think again. On Qing Chen's wedding day, a coup throws everything into chaos. To stop the bloodshed, she uses her powers to reset the entire universe. Talk about a wedding day to remember. Lost Love in Times isn't just your average historical drama. It's based on the web novel Drunken Exquisiteness, and it mixes fantasy elements with historical themes in a way that'll blow your mind. The show explores how personal vendettas clash with larger magical conflicts, keeping you guessing at every turn. Set during the Northern and Southern dynasties, this drama uses its unique setting to dive deep into the reasons behind revenge. It's not just about getting even, it's about understanding why people do what they do in a world where magic can change everything. Number 1. Legend of Fu Yao, From Slave to Savior. Speaking of changing everything, let's switch gears from magic to martial arts. Ever wondered how an orphaned slave could end up with the fate of multiple kingdoms in her hands? It's time to meet Fu Yao, the girl who turned her quest for revenge into a mission to save the world. Fu Yao starts out as a slave in the Zhuanyuan sect of the Taiyuan kingdom. Talk about a tough beginning. But this girl's got more than just a chip on her shoulder. She's got a curse to lift and a score to settle. As she sets out on her journey, Fu Yao finds herself caught up in the politics of various kingdoms. It's like she jumped out of the frying pan and into a whole bunch of fires. But here's where things get really cool. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill historical drama. Legend of Fu Yao mixes in elements of Chinese mythology and martial arts. It's like they took all the best parts of a fantasy novel and a kung fu movie and mashed them together. As Fu Yao travels across different kingdoms, she meets Zhang Sun Wuji, the crown prince of Tianquan. Their romance adds a whole new layer to her quest for justice. But don't think this is just about finding love. Fu Yao's got bigger fish to fry. The show dives deep into themes of destiny and personal growth. We watch Fu Yao transform from a helpless slave into a powerful force for change. It's not just about getting revenge anymore. It's about becoming someone who can make a difference. So, we've taken a thrilling journey through 10 incredible Chinese historical dramas. each with its own unique take on revenge. From magical resets to time travel twists, these stories show us that revenge isn't just about getting even, it's about justice, morality, and the ripple effects of our actions. These dramas don't just entertain us, they make us think about what revenge really means. Is it worth the cost? Does it bring true justice, or just more pain? That's the beauty of these stories. They leave us with questions long after the credits roll. Which revenge tale speaks to you the most? Maybe you're drawn to the strategic genius of Nirvana in Fire, or the magical elements of Lost Love in Times. Whatever your pick, these dramas offer a fascinating look at how revenge shapes characters and history alike. It's no wonder these stories have captivated audiences for so long.